What is up, everybody, man? This is the Live at 5 Throwdown. This is episode 9. 9, we still here?
Nine.
Still here. Jeez. Surprise, surprise. But, man, we got some things we want to talk about. Football is officially back, we would call it. A lot of things going on. So, we're going to dive right in. Matter of fact, hold on. How was your weekend, Monster?
You know what? I had two different answers for this, JT, and I decided I'm not going to use either because both of them are really expensive, and I figured it would be something more for the get-up. So I don't have a clever answer because the ones I picked they're really bad and really off-color. If you want one, I'll give you one. Just be pre-warned.
No, I think we'll pass. Let's hop right into it, man. So, the Hall of Fame game was this week. Like I said, football's back.
Yep.
So, thoughts. What are your thoughts on these football games? We had the Ravens and the Bears.
The Ravens and the Bears was good. I wasn't sold on Lamar Jackson. He didn't do anything for me. RG3 looked better than he did. You know what I mean? He looked unsettled. He just looked like he wasn't ready yet. I mean, it's his first preseason game. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to bust him too much. The Ravens defense looked tough, as they should. So that's going to be a worry week one that the Ravens defense, they look pretty tough. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie, JT. So, but RG3 looked good, you know what I mean? But again, it's the first preseason game. It's the Hall of Fame game. They haven't even gotten through, a full training camp. But it was just good to see people out there getting hit. And speaking of getting hit, okay, this ridiculous head penalty, 15-yard rule, leading with your head, it's stupid. How are you supposed to tackle somebody? You're just supposed to go chest bump them, chest to chest, like, oh, here, I'm going to tackle you with my tits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they supposed to do? You can't decipher in that split second. So I hope the NFL eases up on that 15-yard penalty rule leading with the head. Because what are they supposed to tackle with? They can't trip them. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
I agree. I mean, it's something that I guess they're going to really crack down on. Like I said, it's obviously because of the lawsuits and all that stuff, sort of things. But I mean, I don't really get it. I'm not really with it. I like the men to be able to play football, as we call it.
It's a gladiator sport. That's what it is. You knock somebody in the head. You get paid millions of dollars. There's risks at your job. There's risks at my job, and I don't make millions of dollars. I don't make cash like that. So yeah, some people, but it's pathetic. It's pathetic. They're trying to do it to save a couple headaches, and they're taking away the actual physicality of the NFL game that we all love. You know what I mean? It's pathetic that they're doing it, and the lengths they're going to do it. It's absolutely pathetic to save a couple headaches. I understand about concussions, but you know what? You step on a football field, that's a risk you got to take. Now, yeah, if you can cut the risk down, make better equipment, whatever, but you're changing the fabric of football. I mean, you're already taking kickoffs pretty much out of the damn game. Like the kickoff, where's the Devin Hesters in the prime times? You know what I mean? The dudes that just took it to the house, like just brought everybody to their feet. Like they took that part out of it to save headaches, and I hated it. So now they're going to take out hits. Like, what's going to happen? You're just going to tap them? Is it flag football? Just put a red jersey on everybody like it's training camp so you don't have to hit anybody.
No,
I'm angry early.
I totally agree. I'm definitely not gonna disagree with you there. I mean, I don't really know, man. I mean, like I said, I get it. I definitely get it because obviously the head injuries and obviously the latest lawsuit where they're shelling out money. I totally get it. But like I said, it's either gonna play the game or you're not gonna play the game. And if you play the game, like I said, there's a lot of old players are on board with just pretty much saying that if they could do it all over again, even with the injuries, that they would.
They were world famous and made millions of dollars. Who wouldn't want to live that life?
So, definitely true. Like I said, how many penalties did you see that game? I mean, I know I saw a couple myself. I saw at least 4 or 5 that were called.
Yeah, I think there was like 6 of them. Like it was just absolutely ridiculous. Like it's just. And it's clean. Like, the dude planted his head dead square in the middle of his chest, and they flagged it. Like, what's he supposed to hit him with? You can't arm tackle anybody. Everybody's built like a tank. They're going to run through your arms. Try tackling Marshawn Lynch with your arms because you don't want to lead with your head. He's going to plant your ass in the turf, and you're not going to play for 3 weeks because you're going to be in protocol. Like, it's so stupid to me.
I totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, like I said, I just wonder if this is a situation where they're going to call these penalties now just to try to get everybody on board with the route they're trying to go, and they're going to tone it down during the season, or they're going to keep it going. Because, like I said, if they don't, you're going to see these calls are going to be some game-changing calls.
Especially if they're not consistent. Yep.
You're going to see it. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with it. I mean, like I said, hopefully they tone it down. But outside of that, I mean, like I said, you comment on Lamar Jackson. What I saw from Lamar is what I expected from Lamar. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know that some people, let me get closer to you. I know some people are going to disagree with this, but I'm going to say it.
Lay it on me.
The reason that Lamar Jackson was drafted to Baltimore is just this. I'm not in the race bait, okay? But when you look at the Ravens situation, there was absolutely no reason to draft a quarterback yet. Flacco is still on a deal. He's only 33 years old. And we're seeing quarterbacks play 38, 39 years old to a higher level.
Flacco sucks.
He was okay.
Sucks.
Then, okay, if you're going to switch the quarterback position, then get rid of Suggs, get rid of all those veterans that's taking up money. Suggs, Weddle, you do a full rebuild.
They drafted Lamar Jackson because that put the clock on Joe Flacco. That put the clock on him as soon as they drafted him. That's why they drafted Lamar Jackson. That put the clock on Flacco. If he shows up and plays like he did last year, he's not going to make it through the season.
They drafted Lamar Jackson. Ozzie Newsome specifically drafted Lamar Jackson because he saw an inner city kid with a single mom, and this is his last year in Baltimore. And he said, I'm going to do this kid a favor because his mom tanked his draft stock. Your biggest asset going into the draft was your 40 time, and you refused to run the 40-yard dash.
Because he's a quarterback. He doesn't have to. At least that's what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can see your point on the whole favor thing. Like, we discussed this off camera a while back. And it's just, it's still $1 million investment. It still has to make sense to the front office to bring this kid in. I mean, we're not talking about a shit player. Like, you know what I mean? The kid can play a little bit. He's got skills. NFL level, yet to be determined. We got a small sample of it, and I wasn't impressed. You know what I mean? But, I mean, we'll see how it all pans out. But, I mean, could it be possible? You know what I mean? Your scenario? Absolutely. I could absolutely see it that way. You know what I mean? I could see it that way. But like I said, it's not like he's a bad player. So that could absolutely play into it. So they didn't hurt themselves by drafting.
I mean, I guess I get it. You know what I mean? I definitely get it. But I just felt like there was more to it. I think Ozzie Newsome did his mother a favor because they screwed up. You took your number one asset that separated you from other quarterbacks and you didn't use it. So I just think they screwed up. But I mean, we'll move on. Like I said, we'll see what happens if he turns into a great quarterback. Yeah, if he doesn't, guess what? It ain't Ozzie Newsome's problem because this is last year anyway.
Right. Ozzie said I'm out.
Right. So Ozzie's gone. So it's not his problem. All right. The Hall of Fame speeches. Now I know you had a little issue with Ray Lewis's speech. I'm pretty sure you had an issue with it.
I love Ray Lewis. He's the most inspirational guy. He can make you run through a wall, but you can't explain what he's saying. It doesn't make sense. It's just mindless rambling of like cliches that bounce around in Ray Lewis's head. I love Ray Lewis. I have a Ray Lewis jersey. He hangs in the hall. Actually, I have two Ravens. He hangs next to Ed Reed because I loved Ed Reed. I was a huge Ed Reed fan. But it was so long. It was like an Oscar speech. Like, just, all right, we get it. Like, it's over. Glory to God. 18 times. We get it, Ray. Take your jacket and just go. Just go. Just go. Like, we've seen the speech a million times. But honestly, I can't do that to Ray because 90% of the speeches to me are long and dry and overblown. Like, if you see the NHL Hall of Fame speeches, it's like 4 minutes. Like, that's perfect. Thank your mom, thank your father, tell a story, and then get off my TV. I don't want to hear an hour and a half about your childhood in Westlake, Oklahoma. Like, I don't care. Like, that's not why I tuned into that. But what I found more wonderful than that was the actual jacket enshrinement. But we'll get to that because I'm sure you want to touch on the speeches.
Right, we'll get to it. The thing is about Ray is Like you said, yeah, listen, when I see Ray Lewis now, and I loved Ray Lewis as a player, watching the rookie year, loved him. I get it. Things happen, he became spiritual. I'm not knocking you. Cool. Do whatever
Yeah,
you got
kill
to
the
do.
guy.
I got you. I'm with you. But don't be the guy in the grocery store handing me the little paper pamphlets.
Yes.
Glory be to God. I get it. I got you, bro. We don't need the speech every time. The hiya, da da da, and the da da, and the proverbs. I get it. Enough's enough. Enough's enough.
They should have gonged him. Boom.
Come on. And nothing that really bothered me is me being African American male. Okay, I get it. We're all.
You're black.
Yeah, I'm black. We're all aware of other things going on in America. Listen, do we have to bring awareness to every stage, Randy?
Yeah, I seen his tie. Like, I get it. Good message, but just certain things, just leave the Hall of Fame alone. Like, just do your thing for the Hall of Fame weekend. Give your speech and whatever. It's just, but let's turn to a brighter note. Okay? The one thing that I took from the ceremony was it wasn't the speeches. It was the actual enshrinement for the gold jackets. And the one thing that I thought was cool is if you haven't seen it, you can catch it on NFL Network if you're not stealing cable. Who doesn't have NFL Network? Anyway, you can watch it. And it just, what stuck out to me was they had him basically walk the corridor filled with Hall of Famers, and they thanked him and congratulated him like a gauntlet all the way down. All the old Hall of Famers shook their hands with their jackets on, welcoming him to the club. And I thought that in itself was pretty awesome. So at the end of the walk, they got up on stage, they got their jackets, they took pictures, and then they left. They didn't say anything. And I found that was perfect. Now, if you want to find a religious, spiritual guy that's not going to bore you to death like Ray Lewis, I think B-Doc did a perfect job. B-Doc shouted hallelujah a couple times, praise God, but he didn't throw him in your face and shove him down your throat. So shout out to Weapon X. I love B-Docs. I'm actually going to get one of those to hang in the Monster Hall of Fame pretty soon.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with it. Get up there, get your speech, pull your little towel rack off your bust, be happy. If it doesn't look like you, complain later, whatever, Ray Lewis. But just get off the stage, say what you got to say. We know, we get it. Thank you. Thank your mom, thank your dad, kiss your kids, whatever you got to do, keep moving. T.O., we had one person that wasn't there.
And I love T.O. I love T.O. I read his book. Yeah, Master reads books. I graduated grade 12. But it's just, you bitched your whole career for admiration, and they gave it to you, and then you still bitch. Now, I understand that the writers shit on him and that he didn't get in because of politics. You know what? Welcome to real life. Okay? You know who I feel bad for? Jerry Kramer. Jerry Kramer waited 50 years. 50 to get into the Hall of Fame. You're pissed off because you had to wait 2. Well, you pissed a lot of people off, T.O. You were kind of an asshole sometimes. So, yeah, they're going to the Hall of Fame voting committee is all white guys. So, T.O.'s the last guy they're going to let in because he pissed everybody off. He didn't play the role. He was himself. He had personality, and a lot of people didn't like it. Well, too damn bad. He's one of the best receivers in NFL history. So I can see both sides of the sword. You know what I mean? If you want to burn the candle at both ends, I see both of them. I see why he stayed away, and I absolutely agree with it. But on the other hand, I would have stood up there and rubbed it in everybody's face that I'm standing there smiling, getting my jacket. I would have shit on him that way. And just kind of, that would have been my last T.O. stand. You know what I mean? Maybe signed a Sharpie football and threw it to the crowd before I walked off. Something T.O.-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like I said, I probably would, I'm with you on that one. I would have showed up. I would have made him eat crow, and I would have signed the bus. That's what I would have pulled the Sharpie out, and I would have signed the bus. Here you go, Hall of Fame. But, I mean, you did that Tennessee Chattanooga, and I get it. You know, he should have been in first ballot, no question about it. But end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, that was your chance. You didn't do it, whatever. And I also don't like the way the NFL handled it. Well, if he ain't come in, we ain't going to show that he – no. You're bigger than him.
Let me ask you this, JT, okay? What decision in your life have you ever had to make that's taken you 50 years? A 50-year decision on this guy. Like, what are you weighing? Like, he's either in or he's out. That's what I'm saying about the Hall of Fame committee. The process is shit. Like, this guy waited 50 years. Like, either he's good enough or he's not good enough. And you know what? Every year, more players start to play and get added to the Hall of Fame, so it makes the decision harder. So this guy should have been in 40 years ago. Like, the fact that he waited 50 years to me is absolutely ridiculous. The Hall of Fame committee should be shot for that, figuratively, not literally. Don't call it a feds. I'm not calling shots here, you know what I mean? But that the whole process is shit. Like, 50 years? Like, are you like I said, it reminds me of like the Continental Congress, JT, like the 1600s, a bunch of old guys, old white dudes in George Washington wigs just sitting around. You know what I mean? That's what the NFL Hall of Fame committee reminds me of. Like, just, it's such shit. Just get them out of there, get some new blood in there, and let's make it fair.
Right. No, I totally agree there. No disagreements there. Well, let's move on. The Kelvin Benjamin comment. I mean, he pretty much took a hard swipe at Cam Newton.
You know what? If there's one person that can criticize Cam Newton, it's Kelvin Benjamin. Because guess who was throwing Kelvin Benjamin the damn ball? Cam Newton. So Kelvin Benjamin was like, yeah, he kind of sucked at it. I got to take KB's word.
I kind of got to disagree.
What?
I got to disagree. What right does he have? I mean, I like Kelvin Benjamin. He's a big body receiver. He makes some plays. But Cam went to Super Bowl MVP without him in the lineup.
Yeah, but that was a lot of that defense.
A lot of it was Cam. Cam had like 40-some touchdowns a year. I mean, Steve wasn't there.
I still like Steve Smith.
I love Steve Smith, but Steve wasn't there. Calvin doesn't have a right to leg to stand on.
No, that's garbage. Dude's a building. Like, how can you not hit a building? He's humongous. If you throw a bad pass to Kelvin Benjamin, it's because you have shitty accuracy. Dude, his wingspan's gonna be like 9 feet. It's gonna be like trying to hit a van. Like, you can't hit a van with a football. Like, you're Cam Newton.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I disagree. I disagree with the man's comments. I'm not a fan of what KB had to say. I just think he needs to sit down and shut up.
He needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, like, that's a start.
Like I said, walk around with your glass knee talking shit to people. Like, stay healthy and do something this year for us, please.
I mean, the first ability is availability. If you can't get past that stage, then you shouldn't be talking about anybody. But like I said, we'll move on. The Bills traded for Corey Coleman.
I like that. I like it. If he can keep his hand healthy. Now, the first year, rookie year, first game of the season, dude exploded. Had a touchdown, had over 100 yards. Second game, ouch, it broke my hand. He's gone, comes back later in the season, whatever. Second year, first game of the year, almost cracks 100, another touchdown, great game. Second game of the year, cracked my hand again. Like, dude, if he can keep his hand healthy. Now, I was reading a stat that somebody posted on NFL.com. 31% of balls thrown at him were bad balls. They were off target. 31%. That was third in the NFL over 2 years. So that tells you right there that it's not all him. If he can stay healthy, he's a weapon. And the fact that we got him for what we got him for is an absolute steal. And you know what? If he busts JT and doesn't turn out to be anything or gets hurt, so what? We gave up a 7th-round pick for him. Who cares? So it's very high reward, very low risk. So I like the move. I think he adds speed. Just get him a brace for his hand, for fuck's sake. For Christ's sake.
I mean, obviously anybody who knows me, I've been asking for Corey Coleman since April.
You have proof. You said in April trade.
Asking for April. Someone asked me on Twitter, I forgot who it was, do you think about a Julio Jones trade? And I specifically said I would not give the house for Julio Jones, maybe a first and a fourth. But the guy I would pick up is Corey Coleman. He could be had for cheap. And he's a perfect complement to Kelvin Benjamin. Now, yep. I don't believe that receiving corps in the NFL now are solely based on having elite guys anymore. Not saying it doesn't help. It does help. But it also doesn't help that you have an elite guy, nothing else around him. I believe in a complete core. So now what you have in Buffalo is now you have your building, as you call it, in Kelvin Benjamin, your red zone target, your uncoverable guy. And now you have your speed guy on the other side in Corey Coleman, because I do think he's your number 2 receiver just because he stretches the field. Yes, now, sir. Whoever goes else in the mix, whether it's Zay Jones, Brandon Riley, or even Charles Clay, life becomes a lot easier. because you have a mountain over here and a guy that spies with the wind on the right on the other side. It opens everything up underneath for you. So I got to give Brandon B an A on this trade. I think he stole my idea, but I'm gonna give him an A on this trade.
There it is. Proof. April 30th. JT called it. Trade for him.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So
I got my man props. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People are like, yeah, sure, JT said it. He did say it. He's got proof.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic about it. I think this trade is gonna help a lot of things out. Definitely help a lot of things out. So I'm definitely excited about it. Now, there was a guy who used to be the guy. Played this weekend, and he threw 4 interceptions. And this time, it wasn't Nathan Peterman. I promise you it was not Nathan Peterman, everybody.
I can't hear you. I got all this cash by my ear, and I throw 4 interceptions and a half like Peterman because I'm Johnny Manziel, and I still don't know how to play football. And that pisses me off because I was a big supporter. I made a video. Okay, Manziel was young. He had talent. They gave him a lot of cash. He had no guidance. It happens. It's a story. But it looked like the kid was really trying to turn himself around and make his way back to the NFL. And just watching him shit on himself is just heartbreaking. Like, just horrible. Like, it was nowhere close. These balls were overthrown by a mile. Where did your skill go? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like, just total garbage. I'm not going to lie, JT. I was sad, but I giggled my ass off when I saw it.
I mean, I'll put it this way. You can get away with other position, right? Maybe running back, maybe receiver, maybe cornerback, where you can be out of football for 2 years, 2, 3 years, and maybe come back and get, be all right. You can't do that at quarterback. And if you can show me a quarterback that's done it, then, please do. If anybody watching can tell me a quarterback that has come back after 2 years not playing besides Andrew Luck, we're not going to count Andrew. For anybody who's done that, then please show me. But that ain't a position you could just come in there and just play. It ain't none of this.
No, and it sucks because his career is now going to be a joke. Like, he did great things in college. People are going to forget that because of the NFL fiasco and this garbage or however this works out in the CFL. Now, I said last week, I'm going to tell you why I hate the CFL. First off, the goofy goalpost. And move them back. It's so stupid. Why do you have the goalpost in the front of the end zone like morons? Just move the damn goalpost back. It's so stupid. That, and honestly, I still hold a grudge because they stole Rocket Ismail. I hated it. I loved him at Notre Dame. I was a huge Rocket fan. They stole the Rocket. He never played in the NFL. He went to Canada for a couple dollars. That's why I hate the CFL more than the goalposts. It's because they stole Rocket from the Rocket fan. So, screw the CFL for that shit. I wanted to see him play in the NFL.
They gave you Flutie and Jeff Garcia and
they gave you chlamydia and the clap. It doesn't mean nothing. You know my thoughts on Flutie. Flutie's the white tie rod. Get out of here with that. He didn't do anything here. Wearing his little half shirts and all that shit. I wasn't a Flutie fan. I told you that before. I didn't like Doug Flutie.
Well, I'm a shorter guy, so I actually liked Flutie, and I looked up the Flutie, and I bought Flutie Flakes every week. Excuse you.
Did you wear half shirts?
I was a kid.
Exactly. You don't wear half shirts because you're a grown man. You don't wear half.
If he was around now, I'd wear a half shirt and put a 7 on the back.
I can see you in a half shirt with a 7 on the back. Delicious.
All right, so we had a scandal this week. We call it a scandal. Now, I remember I was having a conversation with one of our Throwdown team members here, one Dwick, Chadwick, the biggest Ohio State fan you'll find. And I recently told him that Urban Meyer was eventually going to get caught for something. He assured me that he would not.
Listen to me, okay? If you're a college sports fan, like I'm a college sports fan, okay? I love college football. I think on some aspects it's better than the NFL. I love March Madness. March Madness to me is the second best time of year for sports except for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nothing for me beats the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Super Bowl comes in at third. And if you're like, Monster, you're doing a football podcast and you just put the Super Bowl as third, well, I don't give a shit. That's my list and that's what I think. So, you know what I mean? I think that now you lost my train of thought. I just went like that. All right.
Other sports.
Let me bring it back. What the hell are we talking about?
Next time put the cup.
I got it. I brought it back. All right. I'm old. I got dust in my brain. I think about different shit. If you look back over the course of history over sports, if you take any successful program, Steve Spurrier, Bobby Knight, you're going to find scandal somewhere. They all get busted in any sport, college football, college basketball. I don't follow college baseball because baseball's boring and Monster's not a fan. Although I will say, put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. That's a crock of shit. But anyway, if you follow it, all the big coaches at the big universities, the programs, they all get popped for something eventually. You don't run a successful college program over the years and not get popped. Even Gino Ariano, if you don't know who he is, he runs the Huskies women's basketball team, one of the greatest college coaches ever. Even he's got popped for a little, nothing major yet, but you can't run a program at that level in college sports and not do a little bit of something backwards. You know what I mean? A little bit of something sideways. Now, to say that Urban Meyers didn't know that one of his assistants assaulted somebody is bullshit. I'll call that right now, because when you're in a position that he is at a university as prestigious as that is, he knows everything that goes on around him. It's his job.
Well, let me ask this question, because this is what's weird to me, right? At the end of the day, if I get in trouble and I go out here and I do something, is it my supervisor's job to tell the store manager or the company or whatever that, hey, he got in trouble? Or can you just read the newspaper like everybody else? Now, from my knowledge, Urban and his wife got involved with this situation and I think in Florida or whatever it was beforehand with the same guy and his wife. So, I mean, obviously maybe he should have cut ties back then. But is it really his job to report this? I mean,
No, it's not his job to report it at all. You know what I mean? But it is his job if somebody comes to him and says, hey, what's going on with this? I think he's obligated to answer truthfully. Is he supposed to drop dime on him and just straight dry snitch? Hey, check it out. I found one of my coaches smacking the shit out of his wife. No, you don't do that. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, listen, you know, we have some investigative tips. Do you know what's going on? Then, yeah, you say something. It's part of your job. You're obligated to the kids at your school. You're not obligated to your coaches. You're supposed to be loyal to your coaches, but you're not obligated. Your point of being at that school is for the kids that you are coaching. That's where your loyalty should lie.
I mean, it just seems like they're putting, and I know these guys are getting, a lot of money, and I mean, you're managing like almost 100 kids at times, and like 30 coaches, because God knows the coaching staff at college never end. You have graduate assistants and camera guys and quality assistants, and
yeah, man, they got pressures we'll never even know, JT. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine being one of those guys, especially at a major university, you know, Michigan, Penn State. No tickle fights, you know what I mean? Ohio State, Florida State, you know, stuff like I could only imagine the pressure. Like Bobby Bowden, he got cracked eventually. Jimmy Johnson got cracked. Like, you got to look back over all the college sports. They all get cracked.
So
if you've got rings, you've done some things. There you go.
You have to. I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I don't disagree. But even so, they said the investigation will be done soon. We do know that they fired Jim Tressel a couple years back, so we know. I don't know if this university is going to stand for that, but we'll see what happens.
Well, but you know what? It's Urban Meyer. Like, if they fire him and make an example and blah, 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 he's just going to go to another competing school. There's going to be a big-name university that sweeps it under the rug and salivates, and they're like, well, shit, you come coach for us. Like, he's a top-flight college coach. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's cheaper to keep him. Like, well, what are you going to bring in that replaces him that's any better? You know what I mean? Like,
you know, I feel that they're Ohio State, and they're Ohio State. They'll be back regardless.
Right, but he didn't hit his wife.
No, he didn't hit his wife. Like I said, it's very surprising of how this is all going down. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of baffled because I know it's in his contract, but is there some coaches in the nation whose contract it is not in?
Right.
Because I mean, if you're going to do this, then this should be something that's governing law out of all NCAA football teams that all coaches have to have this in their contract. Because how can this guy over here maybe be at Ohio State and it's in his contract, but does Jim Harbaugh have it in his?
Nope.
You know what I mean? It gotta have to be something that's gonna have to be put in.
You know what else pisses me off about the NCAA, JT? Is that they don't really serve a purpose. They imply sanctions, they govern with rules, but they're not elected. They don't answer to anybody. So basically, they're just like, they're the bully that hangs outside the high school and just flicks the geeks in the back. Like, what is your purpose? Like, you don't actually do anything for college athletes except imply sanctions and fines and penalize these kids. Like, where do you come from? Why do you exist? You don't do anything. It's not a union. They're not involved with any specific schools. They're just one body that governs college sports that, like, how the hell did you get in power? What do you actually do?
Right. No, I totally agree. I don't disagree with you there. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they make money and they go on about their business because they make a ton of money off this stuff. So
that's it. But God forbid a college athlete uses somebody's cell phone to call their mother. Now you can't play pro sports. Like,
right.
Whatever.
It's ridiculous. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on before we do buy, sell, trade?
No, I keep my touching to myself, but I do that on Monster Time. I don't share that with the fans.
All right. Well, it's time for buy, sell, or trade.
Let's buy, sell it, or trade it. Let's go.
All right. Are you buying that Corey Coleman stays healthy the entire season?
I don't. A knee, a hamstring, a foot, I get it. If the wide receiver's legs are healthy, like, figure it out with the hand, Mike. Like, you got a guy out there that got no hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a broken hand. Like, suck it up. Like, keep it up, put some shit on it, put a cast on it, and go out there and catch the football. Use your feet, which have been healthy your first 2 years of your career, unlike your hand. So, yeah, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy that he's going to stay healthy this year because we need him. And I got to keep faith somewhere, JT. Like, I think him on the outside of Benjamin is perfect. It's perfect.
I'm going to buy that. Buy, sell, or trade. Johnny Manziel will make it back to NFL one day.
I'll sell this down the road all day, JT, along with the oceanfront property in Arizona. No, he doesn't come back. I pulled for him. They gave him a shot. He shit on himself. I wonder what the CFL team's thinking now. Like, all right, we got this media circus. We signed this yo-yo. Now what do we do with him? Like, we can't trot him back out there. It's preseason. We'll see what happens. But, no, there's no way in hell Johnny Manziel makes his way back to the NFL unless he buys a ticket.
I'm going to buy it without a ticket. I'm going to think he's going to make it back. I don't know when.
What?
I'm going to buy it.
What?
I just think he's going to make it back. I don't know why. I just think he's going to make it back. I think he's going to rebound from that game. I think he's going to make it back. He may be 35 years old when it happens and sitting on somebody's bench. I think he's going to make it back. I'm going to buy it.
You know what? The day Johnny Manziel, I'll say it right here. The day Johnny Manziel makes it back on an active NFL roster, I'll drink a bottle of Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah.
Right here on stream.
You know what? I'll take it. Maybe wait a while, but we'll remember this one.
There's no way. Unless, hey, if it takes 10 years and I got an ulcer, then no, I'll switch it to ranch or something stupid. But if I'm old, I might have ulcers in another 10 years by the time he makes it back. But everybody that's coming, you know what I'm saying, that's coming to the game on Thursday, me and JT will be there live for the preseason opener. So make sure you look for us. Send us your deets in the DM. If you see the custom number one Monster jersey, you know who it is. Come up and say hello with you guys, so on and so forth. Me and JT will drink a beer with you. We'll see what's going on. But it's going to be lit. We're going to be there. It's going to be awesome. We're going to turn it up. We're going to go live. We're going to shoot a ton of shit. So who knows? You might be in some videos if you're there Thursday and you see us walking around. Come up and say hello. Stick your nose in.
That's it. All right. Last buy, sell, or trade. Last buy sell trade. Urban Meyer. You buy, sell, in a trade, and he will get fired.
I stated all the reasons why they shouldn't, but the intelligence side of me says, yeah, they're going to fire him. They're going to fire him. They have to. The boosters are like, no, 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 no. Yeah, they're going to fire him. So I'm gonna buy that he's going to get fired. I disagree with it. I think it's stupid. I think he's going to land on his feet. But I mean, it's a tough subject. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying anything about domestic violence. I think it's horrible. I think the fact that this coach smacked his wife around is fucking ridiculous. I think he should come to my house and let me smack him around. I think that's ridiculous. But it also draws in, like, loyalty to your coworkers. Like, do you snitch? Like, if one of your best friends is smacking around his wife, do you go to the police? No, you pull him aside and you're like, dude, if we're going to continue to be cool, I don't think you should do this anymore because I'm not down with you smacking around your wife every 2 days. Like, you got to cut that shit out. Like, I'd go to him first with it. I wouldn't call the police on him. But it's a touchy subject. I don't think he should lose his job, but if he does, I completely understand it. It's a horrible subject. And like I said, I don't want to, put it in, any kind of enlightened state. It's a horrible thing. And if you beat up a chick, come Google me. I'll wrestle around with you. Monster likes to get physical. Don't touch the ladies. They're pretty. Leave them alone.
No, I agree. I think he's going to get fired. I'm going to buy the fact he's going to get fired because, like I said, you almost have to get fired now. There's no way that they can keep him, especially if it's in the contract. Because if you violate your own contract, then you're probably going to have the NCAA coming at you with the sanctions.
Hold on. We got a comment from Eric Dwickerson in the chat, aka Dwick Buttkiss, that they ain't gonna fire Urban. We disagree, Dwick. You know what I mean? Dwick in your mouth. I disagree.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's
gonna have to.
Myers is an urban legend.
Right. He'll be back. Maybe he'll coach at Michigan next. But I mean, I think, man. I mean, I don't know. It's what it is. What it is. You can't do it. It's in the contract. He's supposed to do it. I mean, they're paying you like $20 million a year. You gotta do what you gotta do. I think he's gonna get fired, and that's it. I'm gonna buy it. So, other than that,
I don't feel sorry for him either because he's got a ton of cash. Like, oh no, you can't go to Burger King and get extra cheese. Like, come on, dude, you can make millions. Like, I don't feel sorry for you.
And like you said, he'll go on TV for a little while, then he'll come back and he'll get another job and he'll
let it blow over.
And he won't bring that coach with him again, guarantee it. But
that dude's done yet.
That's our time for the day, man. I mean, it was a good show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We were at the live at 5:30 throwdown today, but we're a little late, working on some things, trying to bring you guys a better show.
All right, listen, okay? If you're mad that we started late, just shut up, all right? We have a brand new system we're trying to implement with things that are going to blow your mind. Now, technology's hard nowadays. We're trying to get it right, so be patient with us. So we do apologize, but we're doing it for the sake of bringing you guys badass things. And be on the lookout, because I think that Brock dropped a commercial and something happened to it in the future. Maybe look out for that. Make sure 7:30 live on my YouTube page. Come get some of the get up. You already know how I get down. I take it off. I'm already like 3 Stanley Cups in. And I got an hour and a half before I go live and just spit venom. So make sure you bring your ass to YouTube. Find out what goes on in Monster's backyard where I don't have to watch what I say. And we have a good time and I drink a lot of beers and get drunk. So make sure you come join that. Like I said Thursday, make sure you come find us. See us at the game. We're going to bring you footage. We're going to be live. It's going to be lit. My name's not Monster. I got it tattooed on me. So yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. And also, not only will we be live from the Bills game, we also will be live from the Bengals game. So we're going to bring you 2 games on Thursday.
Right. And you know what? Do we play the Bengals this year?
I think week 3 of the preseason.
Damn it. I made a promise last year. If you don't follow my weekly get-up videos for the season where I rip apart the opponents, I promised Bengals fans, since Andy Dalton delivered last year, that I would not rip apart the Bengals in my get-up video this year. I will keep that promise. I didn't say I wouldn't say bad things. I just said I wouldn't rip them apart. But Bengals fans, get lit. The Dwick's coming for you. Make sure you follow the Dwick. Get up on the Dwick.
Is that? So that is our time. We'll catch you next week, and we will be on time. I promise. I'm assuring it. Stamp it, book it at 5 p.m. Leave us comments. Sometimes tell us what you want to talk about. Give us a subject. Talk about anything.
Hey, tell us we suck. Just say something. Like, Monster, your head's really big. Yeah, I know.
But that's our time. I'm JTM. That's my man, Monster. And we are out of here. Make sure to tune into the Get Up.